Welcome to Spain, Poco Poco. Buenos dias, Tanya.
Buenos, how's it going?
It's good. It's good. It's
Hot?
it's hot. And we had a whisper of a rainstorm last night. Just a whisper.
You
We
did.
had a little thunder and lightning and a mist that came down. And I
And
was
then
like, no, we need a
no
torrential
rain.
downpour. We are deserving of this. It has not rained all
Oh my
summer.
God. Yeah, well, it was 96 degrees in England here last week, which is unheard of. And we even had a tiny wildfire. It is so dry. I've never seen England like this. So I came here to escape the heat and did not.
No, you did not. No.
You would have thought one could, but that's not where you go anymore. I think maybe you have to go up to Alaska now, maybe
Norway. We
to
went
get
to
away from
Norway, and
it.
it actually
You went
wasn't
to
as cold
Norway.
as we were prepared for. But it was still,
Well, yeah.
it was still a
It was still
refreshing
nice,
break.
right? Yeah. Speaking of burning up and fires, today we're going to talk about something called a Correfoc, which is a basically running into fire, which is a special kind of extra fiery festival-y thing. We're going to talk about and explain exactly what it is here in Spain.
Exactly, because in Spain, especially in the Valencian region, we don't just have fireworks. We have many iterations and a million ways to do fireworks, right? What they're not just in the sky, as we've talked about before. So this is another way to bring gunpowder into your
It
life.
certainly is.
So Tanya, have you seen a Codifuck, or am I bringing up something that you haven't seen?
I have no idea. I'm gonna say, wait, I mean, I didn't think that I had, but now that we've got into this, like you just said, there is fire at every single festival in some way or another. So I think that I might have seen one without realizing that this is what it was, because it didn't seem that sort of special. Like if I had seen a festival like that in any other city, and I mean any other country, I would have been like, okay, that's what that was. But it's literally all the time, right? Like
Right.
you've seen, I think you've maybe seen it, but also you'll also agree, as you just said, there's fire everywhere for everything,
Yeah.
so it's hard to know.
I've
Yeah.
seen them. I know what the difference is. But yes, if you were to step
Mm-hmm.
into it and come to a Valencia thing and be like, you not necessarily know there's a separate name for this thing, especially. So I would say just last week there was the closing of the July festival, and they had a Carnival parade and then fireworks after. And to the naked eye, it just seems like that was one festivity, and actually it was two things combined into one. So anyway,
Right, exactly. Yeah, and also this time of year we have a lot of medieval fairs, so this is something that is celebrated a lot here. So it's not a huge surprise to have a festival like this that's also has a history that goes that far back, and that is how far back this goes. So this is kind of where it grew up from.
right. So yes, the tradition started in something called the Ball de Diables, which obviously means the dance of the devils, and that's what the Carafok really is. It is these people running around in costume, dressed as devils and Lucifers and dragons and those kinds of things of evil creatures, as it were, and they menace the
Mm-hmm.
crowd. And it is a fireworks thing, but I would best, so what I have seen, I would best describe it as very powerful sparklers, right? It's not like fireworks of color are coming off. It is like fire, but it drops like sparklers do. Do you know what I mean? So I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
you can tell they're safer. I wouldn't say they're safe, but you can tell it's not like they're just shooting firecrackers at people and stuff like that. It's like this kind of like flame throwing
Right.
sparklery thing going
And
on.
the people that are generally doing this, they have groups called Colles de Diables, which is literally the group of devils, and they're the ones dressing up, and it is in these costumes of mythical creatures. And like you said, they have fire and sparkle at things but they also have pitchforks and stuff. I mean, they're dressed up. It's
Yeah.
a full thing.
Yeah. And they'll be dressed up, or a couple will be leading this thing. Almost if you think about like a Chinese New Year kind of thing where a few people are dressed up in
Mhm.
the dragon. Or it will have a dragon like statue on wheels that they're wheeling around that's shooting fire as well, right? So it's
Right. So very sort of interactive, and the thing that I had seen was actually more of a, and I think this is where it varies sort of everywhere on how this has grown over the hundreds of years, which is what I saw was more of a play almost, but it was in the town square, but it was like everyone was just watching. There was no interaction. And there was a lot of fire, and there was a clear demarcation of where the people should be standing to not be getting anywhere near the fire. And it was for everybody. It was for kids. It was for everybody. And it was a wonderful display of fire acrobatics with this Diablo kind of theme.
Right.
And very cool. And then they have more like parades, like you're talking about, where they're going through where people, again, are not participating. And then I think they have in some places, which I haven't seen, participation ones where people are just all over it and in it and around it and madness.
I haven't
organized madness.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. I would love to see that, but yes, there is a tradition. I think that is even more prevalent in Catalonia, which is the running with the fire. The people are participating.
Right.
The other thing that is also, and I don't know if this happened when you saw it, is what I've noticed here is there is also a tribal beating of drums going on with this. So it's kind of has
cool.
that kind of like drum circle feel where you'll hear the drums before you see the fire coming down the street, right? So when we went to watch it last weekend, we're the circle, and we're like, oh, it's coming, because you could hear the drums coming down.
You can hear it as you're getting closer.
Yeah, as they're getting closer. And then where we were, which is in the Porta del Mar, which is like this big circle in Valencia where we have our kind of quote-unquote Arc de Triomphe looking thing, we were all standing around that circle because that's where it ends. And we heard the drums coming, and then they were parading these creatures around, shooting fire, and I'm, you know,
it sounds really fun.
It is fun, and I am a sucker for it. I have to say, and then when it was over, so they did end it with fireworks, a big firework display that are around the arch, and so the arch lights up in all these colors, and I think it's my favorite fireworks display. It's only like 6 minutes long, but I'm gonna say Valencia, that one's my favorite. Out of New Year's and Defias, those are big and grand. This is the one that's just the most beautiful. Here, I said it. Let's move on.
You have a favorite.
I do.
It took a few years because like you asked me at the beginning whether I've seen one. I mean, you just see so many festivals, and there's so much fire in various ways embedded in these festivals that it takes a little while to have gone to a few of them and be like, this one is the one, right? This is my favorite. They also do, just as a separate thing, some towns will also organize a Correfoc Infantils, which is for children, which would be probably way more pyrotechnics than anyone outside of Spain would want near their children, but it's a smaller version.
Right. But for a Spaniard, it would be infantile, how little the fireworks are. But most Americans would be like, how dare you?
Yeah, because to be clear, during Fias and stuff, and they have, the kids are playing with fireworks and putting them on the ground and jumping over them, and they're
throwing them at each other and all those
throwing
things.
them at each other. I mean, no, I will say they do have it's the little ones they're doing that with, but they do have a quite a comfort when it comes to fireworks and things and sparklers here.
Well, should we go back into some of the history?
Yeah, let's go back in time.
So yeah, we said it started in the medieval times with this Ball de Diables, the Dance of the Devils. And it was more of a street theater back then. And it was theater and comedy and music with religious storytelling, and satire and fire. And, it's the same characters. They had Lucifer and the devils and demons and also angels, right? So this was this kind of good versus evil.
So as you said, yeah, this would have been like, it would have been funny, it would have been loud, and it was the idea of this, like all theatrical back there. It was to entertain the audience,
right?
And
to remind them that they have to go back to the fields in the morning, right? That's what these get their minds off their serfdom, as it were.
Yeah, and get your mind off of politics and, all these other things, I suppose, but because they would have made fun of those things. I mean, just think about if you think of Shakespeare and theater that you might be aware of earlier on. I mean, it's just that type of thing.
Right. And they do have the earliest documented reference of it was in the 12th century, that there's a writing describing the devil performance during the 1150 wedding of Ramon Berenguer IV and Peronea of Aragon, which is kind of interesting. I know all these people that we know so well.
Yeah, for sure. And then many of these groups became regular participants in also the Corpus Christi processions, which we have posted about and we've talked about a little bit before, and a lot of these patron saint festivals. So a lot of, as anyone that's listened to us or anyone that's lived in Spain knows, there's a lot of religious festivals.
Right.
And this also has become a part of those too. It is not sort of separated in that way.
Right. And with all religious festivals, we are talking about good and evil, right? Isn't that
Yes,
how we're
exactly.
getting them into the church in the first place?
For sure. Yeah.
Now, what's interesting is that, this started from a very medieval place, but then they were kind of hidden for 40 years during Franco's reign. Not that they were necessarily outlawed, but during Franco's reign, there was a suppression of regional differences and
Yeah, he wasn't really into that. He wanted to unify Spain. That was his goal. So I think outlawed might be not a bad word to use for the things that he wanted to suppress around in different areas, and this was one of them. So, but these things, as we talked about with other traditions during that time, they did not disappear. And after Franco, they had a massive cultural revival.
Could you say they exploded?
I could say they exploded.
Pun for the
Absolutely.
win.
Woohoo! In 1979, Barcelona has this Festes de la Merce. I don't know how you say that exactly. And there were several Colles de Diables that came together for a public performance there. So that has now also become quite a place to go see this particular sort of festival as well.
Right. And so after Franco, as we said, these events became big. And, we've talked about how Catalonia and Valencia, they have similar languages. There's some traditions that are tied. So
Shh, don't say that.
I know, I didn't say that out
Two
loud.
completely different
languages that share no similarities whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
And all traditions are unique to each place. However,
in Catalonia,
in Catalonia, I think the Correfoc is more aligned to their identity, where it is something we do in Valencia as well.
Because we have other things that are I mean, we have that as well, but we do have other festivals that are maybe bigger.
Right. Like, I think the Mascletas and the Fallas and just the Mascleta itself is much more of a Valencian thing, right?
Exactly.
And,
but anyway, up there they do have, it's a huge, huge event, and one that I think is potentially more fireworks, more people integrating into the parades and whatever they're doing. I think it's more of an interactive experience if that's what you're looking for.
Right. Yes. And in Valencia, from what I've seen, it's been more of a spectator versus entertainer versus joining in it. But that's just what I've seen. I live in the city. Now, I know in the small towns, I see there's this Fallas in English website that kind of lists all the pyrotechnics. There's like a pyrotechnic calendar, and I'll see Correfoc in all the little villages all the time, and I've never gone out there, so who knows how they're doing it in each of these. But in Valencia, there'll be Correfocs in all these larger festivals, like during Fallas, and we've talked about Corpus Christi, and during the week of Easter, one of those nights will have a Correfoc going somewhere, right? It is right. They are integrated, but they are not the event themselves.
Okay, so you might have to explain this to me, because I think this is more up your alley of TV movie viewing. Possibly. In these festivals, especially up in Catalonia, they have like lots of fire beasts, which makes sense because you need the mythical creatures that are breathing fire and stuff. So a dragon, a drac, I know what that is. And then you have the vibries, also known as the wyverns.
Well, wyvern
it's obviously a mythical
British,
creature, but I don't know what that
Tania,
is.
So it doesn't seem like you really know your own history. But a wyvern is
not.
It's kind of like a flying dragon. It's like a flying reptile. So.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, with a long
and
tail.
That breathes fire.
Like Pete's dragon. You know what I mean?
Oh, I wonder if they get those flying like now, or like you said with the Chinese festivals when they're like. Well, they do have them on.
I've seen them hold them up on like with the rods, right? So they're way above.
With the rods, with the
high,
sticks. Yeah. Okay, that does sound fun. Okay, I might have to make my way up north one day to see one of these. That does sound really fun.
So I guess we should probably talk about where you can see one of these. I mean, we've talked about, we talked about the website you can check in on to get a calendar.
Yeah.
But if you look at any kind of festa mayor, any big festival in any town, especially if it's their patron saint, patron saint days of towns,
Mm-hmm.
you might find a Correfoc in Valencia and in Catalonia for that.
Right. Yeah. And obviously up in Barcelona, you can see a lot. Actually, Tarragona, Santa Tecla, they are quite significant because they have one of the oldest Ball de Diables traditions there, actually. So Tarragona, if you don't know, is somewhere sort of
Mm-hmm.
between Valencia and a bit closer to Barcelona. So we're kind of heading up north. And before they start with all the fireworks, many of their groups still perform portions of the original medieval play where, like you were saying before, which is depicting the battle of good and evil. So you're kind of there getting a bit of a idea of like a bit of a combination of the old play plus the new sort of Carafok kind of experience. So that's kind of cool.
And
I haven't
that's when
experienced
again?
it, but that would be, so they have a festival that goes from the 15th of September to the 24th, but it's the evening of September 22nd where they have this particular thing. However, please do check the dates.
Right.
As we've discussed, our Fires Festival in Valencia is on very specific days and it doesn't change. I don't know that 100% for sure for this one. It
Right.
might be the same way where it is always on September 22nd, but always worth checking first.
Always worth checking. But that sounds like something that's worth a little 2-hour train ride up the coast to
I think
see.
so.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then,
It looks like, I mean, the play and the fireworks and getting it all like a little bit of history.
yeah. I
It'll
wonder if
be
they do the
fun.
play in the Roman theater that's there. That'd be kind of fun.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Right?
Oh, okay.
Ah.
We'll have to look that up.
And then around June 23rd, we did do a Poco on the feast of San Juan, which is the June 23rd. And many towns will hold a Correfoc because it celebrates the equinox and
Mm-hmm.
and the burning. So in the feast of San Juan, we talked about how we have these huge bonfires, and again,
Right, more
they
fire.
love burning in Spain to represent the burning and purification and all of that stuff. So, but that holiday is a big one to represent the old with the new and bringing into summer. So
Yeah.
they do have
But
those
to be
things.
clear, the bonfires are not a Corofok.
No, that's just a bonfire at the beaches.
Right.
Yes.
So I just want to be clear, and this is why I said earlier, you might have seen a lot of fire, and you still may not have seen one of
Yes,
these.
exactly.
This is a festival of bonfires with a lot of fire, and the Carafok part of it is just a portion. So
They throw it in. They'll throw it
yeah,
in.
just throw it in. So that's why I just want to be clear.
And it's not just in Valencia and Catalonia, also the Balearic Islands and other former territories that were the crown of Aragon will have the Correfoc traditions going
Mm-hmm.
on. So it's really that part of that royal lineage of Spain is where that controlled is where the tradition still holds. How about that?
Yes.
And then
There you go.
finally to bring that up is to bring us full circle in the beginning. I was talking about the end of the Gran Feria de Julio in Valencia is where you'll see a big Carnaval parade that winds through the city and ends in the Puerto del Mar.
Which is the one that you saw
Yeah.
just a few days ago. Yeah.
And you know what? It is. I said it before. I'll say it again. The ending fireworks is like 6 minutes, and the Carnival parade, if you're just in the Puerto del Mar, is I don't know 10 minutes. So really about 20 minutes out of your life. So perfect.
Well worth it.
Well worth it. And the key to this is it's at the end of the July, and we did talk about the Feria de Julio before. The reason why they
Mm-hmm.
have it is because people have fled the city, and it's supposed to keep people in the city and keep businesses going. And
Right. Yeah.
so when you're down there, you think it's packed. It's not packed. So if you're here next year during it, it is a perfect place to see the firework and the parade because you're maybe
It's a
six
nice
people
time.
deep. It's not like you're hundreds and not seeing it. Like it is.
Oh, wow. And that's unique because some of these festivals are hard to see.
Yeah, a lot of the parades,
Yeah.
like the Christmas parade and stuff. You're like, don't
Yeah,
why,
yeah.
if you weren't there 3 days before, don't bother going.
Yeah. Now, I feel like just out of our responsibility, we should probably just mention safety.
You mean out of
It
liability?
doesn't
We don't want
seem
no liability claims
no,
coming our
don't want any
way.
liability. I don't think this is necessarily needed for the ones that we've seen, which are not audience participation. But I think if you were to go to one of the ones that is, just just make sure that you are prepared and wear cotton clothes, not synthetic fabrics, because if you do get a spark on you,
You'll melt.
you don't want, you'll melt. Your clothes will melt to you, and that will be very unpleasant. And wear closed-toe shoes, cover your arms and legs, wear a hat and scarf. And obviously, it goes without saying, if you don't like fireworks and fire, well, first of all, the part of Spain is not for you.
Right.
Secondly, don't go searching this out, because
Right.
it will be a lot. It'll be more than you will have ever experienced, and but for everybody else, it'll be really fun. And I think it's definitely worth, like you said, popping up to Tarragona and seeing that one.
Yeah, it's a shame because it's during the school year, so I'll have to work and see if it's on a weekend. So that's the kicker.
It's got to eventually land on a weekend if it's on the same day, right?
Well, on that note, Tanya, I think it's time to go.
Bye. Thank you for listening to another episode of Our Spain.
We really appreciate all the support we have received since we started this podcast.
Visit ourspain.com for transcripts to this and our other episodes, some exciting merchandise, and if you are so inclined, there is also a link to buy us a coffee, which helps support this fun endeavor.
And please follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Our Spain Podcast. And don't forget to subscribe to us wherever you're listening.
It really helps us stay connected, and we'd love to hear from you.
Let us know if there's any topics you would like for us to talk about. Even though we are happy to talk about anything, we also want to make sure it's informative for you.
Exactly.